Alright, so let's talk about the diameter of the N-Ary. So you are given a root, and you need to compute the length of the diameter of the tree. And in this one, we're looking for edges, right? And then there is a path that you can generate what the longest diameter in the tree, which is 3. But this is also another solution, but it depends how you solve it. So okay, let's talk about how I did it. So the idea is you need to find out the max 1 for your child and max 2 for your child, right? So you do have a list of children, right? So when you have a list of children, you need to traverse. So in this case, not just only for node.left or node.right, right? So you want to find out what's the current maximum for children, and then basically just keep adding. So in this case, if you don't have a child for the leaf, right? This is 0, right? So we'll set the leaf to 0 by default, right? Okay, when you connect, connect to a parent, you need to know. So just for example, this is a subtree, right? So you need to know how many. What is the current maximum for the length of the length of the diameter, right? So in this one, when you add, this is supposed to be what? The max length between, for this subtree should be what? I would say that is 2, right? Alright, so yeah, so this diameter should be 2, right? 1, sorry. So it's 1, 2, right? And then when you traverse above, just keep going up, right? You basically need to just keep track of max 1 and max 2. So in this one, our max 1 and max 2 is going to be what? Keep updating based on the children height, right? So in this one, I would say to -1 by default. And then when I traverse the children, then I get update to 0, then I will just update my max to 0, right? Then when I come back to the parent, then I will just say 2 plus max 1 and max 2. Right, so in this one it's supposed to be 2. Alright, so why I use 2 plus? 2 represent 2 edges based on the what? Based on the max 1 and max 2. This is because we started from -1, right? And then if we get rid of 1, right? And then we should supposed to be have 1 connection only. So 2 plus -1 should be what? Be 1, right? Right. It's gonna be hard to just it's gonna be hard to explain, but I'm gonna stop coding. So I have a path for global variable. So if the root is actually equal to null, right, I will return 0, right? And I'm using a DFS, and I'm passing the root, and then I'm going to return path, right? So public DFS, and then I was passing the node, right? So if the node.children, the size is actually equal to 0, which means this is a leaf, right? So I will just return 0, right? Then I will have the max 1 equal to -1, and then max 2 to -1, right? And then for what? For the children, traverse the children, so no child, no.children, and then I would say I would definitely get a current height equal to what? DFS a child, right? So if the max 1 is less than the current height, right? And also else if max 2 is less than the current height, then I do something. So max 1 should be the largest one, right? So if I update my max 1, my max 2 is definitely automatically updated, right? So I would add max2 equal to max1, max1 equal to current height, and then in this case I only get update to max2, so this will be it, right? So now when you break out the for loop, right, when you're on the outside, right, so you need to what? You need to just update your path, right? Max path, and then this is gonna be what? Max1 plus max2 plus 2, right? So for just for this one, just for this subtree, right? Like just for this subtree, this is 0, this is 0, and then you know like the edges should be 2, right? So you plus 2, right? You plus 2, and if you only have edges 1, then somehow one of them should be -1, should be max2, right? Max2 is -1, and then max1 is still 0, so 2 plus 0 plus -1, this is supposed to be 1, so you will return 1 if the subtree is like this, right? And then there's no subtree on the right? This will be what? The edges 1, this will be edges 2. Alright, so I didn't finish. This is because I need to return value. So what is the return value for current node? So in this one I'm talking about what? The parent. So what about the current node? It's gonna be what? Max1 plus 1, right? So we get updated to path. This is the global variable, then we keep adding. And yes, here we go. And submit. So let's talk about the time and space. For the time, you do have to traverse every single one of the node in a tree, so this will be all of them. And then for the space, since you are creating a scope variable inside the for loop every single time, and also the max1, max2 every single time you call in, you will say all of them, but I would say it's constant, all of 1, because this is local variable, right? And I don't recommend you to keep track of the local variable. So I would say constant. For the space, time is all of them. So this is the solution, and I will talk to you later. Bye.